So if you're looking for one of the best drives in the entire Emerald Coast, today we're doing it. We're at the Gulf Island National Seashore, just now leaving Navarre Beach. This is part of a 4-part series, so if you want to see some of those, like and subscribe. But we're doing a driving tour of Navarre. We're doing Opal Beach, which is where we're headed to right now, so you can see what that's like. We did Navarre in the mainland and also did a golf course. So if you haven't seen those videos, like and subscribe, follow along. You'll see those here shortly. But man, this is one of my favorite drives. We're gonna get to it. We're headed out this direction, just a 2-lane road with a bike lane on both sides. So if you like to bike, if you are a motorcyclist, if you wanna walk a good amount of time, you can come out here. If you drive a Jeep like I do and you have a nice day, this is a great one to take the doors off, put the top down. One of my favorite places to come and drive around here, because as you're driving out here, you have all of these sand dunes that are beautiful. You can see the sound, the Santa Rosa Sound on the right, and you can see the Gulf on the left. And as you go through this winding road up here, sometimes you're closer to the Gulf and sometimes you're further over to the Sound, but get some amazing views with a few stops along the way that you'd be surprised about. So on this tour for today, since there's no homes, I typically tour homes and properties. I help a ton of people relocate here to the Gulf Coast like we did about 4 years ago. So if you are looking to make that move here, reach out. My info is all below in the description box. And like and subscribe to this channel, as I'll be touring some different places. You can also post some things you're interested in. If you're looking at a specific area or price point, put that in the comments and I'll put that on one of my next tours to tour that for you. But as we're driving down here, this speed limit is 25 miles per hour, and occasionally you'll have these turn-ins that not everybody knows about. So I'm going to turn in here and show you what these are like. So this first turn in, as you're coming from Navarre, it does look like people have found this today. And it's double red flags, which is not the best day to go to the beach. Man, those waves are ripping. I don't know, those are like 6-foot waves. Honestly, I might run down there and just show you what that's like, because that looks insane. Typically, it can be as smooth here in the Gulf as a lake. And then you can have days like today that are just ripping in the waves. So it's a little too windy today to fly my drone. I was gonna do that, but you know what? I'm gonna walk down here. I'm gonna take my camera. I'm gonna show you some of these waves, and then we'll come back and continue the tour. See what I mean? Those waves were ripping, and I'm slightly out of breath because walking through the sand, it is so soft that every time your feet move, it actually will squeak between your toes here in Navarre. But man, amazing sand, and it'll give you a little calf workout right there. But so as you can see, this parking lot is not a ton of spots for cars. So probably about 20, maybe 30 cars can park here. So that is gonna give you, if it gets too busy down there at the main part of Navarre Beach, you can run over here and get a little bit more privacy, which can be great. But I'm gonna continue down this one road, head over here to Pensacola. But that's the thing about this area, especially this time of year in April, you can come down here. One day is double red flags like today, where the waves are going crazy. Maybe it's not your ideal beach day because it is pretty windy as well. It is unfortunate, but super cool because you can come back tomorrow and maybe have green flags and it be calm. So typically, I would say 80% of the time, maybe more, is super calm here on the Gulf, where you do have waves that you can boogie board in, not necessarily surf. This would be more of one of those surfing type days if you are a pro at being able to swim and be able to do surfboards. I'm not gonna get in the water with double red flags though. I have a lot of respect for the ocean, so don't wanna do that. But we're gonna continue driving out here. You'll find up here, there's one more stop like that. And then we'll get to Opal Beach, which maybe you've heard of. If not, it's definitely something maybe you want to check out on your next trip here. So let's keep rolling up here and I'll show you this next stop. So I was wrong. From Navarre Beach, there's only one stop between there and Opal Beach, which is where we're coming up to right now. And so I'll turn in here, I'll show you what this park is all about. It is a national park, so when you go in here, they will have you give them a card or pay to get in. And I'll try to give you some of the details of that if I see a sign of how much it costs and details like that. Okay, so I have the card, but if you have a private vehicle, it says it's $25. The motorcycle is $20, and you can get an annual pass for $45, or per person if you did ride a bike, or if you walk in from here, it's only $15. So it gives you some different deals like that. I have a card. Usually they want to see that and your ID. How's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good. Thank you so much. That was the same guy from my last driving tour of Fort Pickens. He's probably like, what are you doing with all these cameras on your vehicle? But anyway, so when you come in here, it's great because you have access to restrooms, you've got pavilions with tables. I even think they have barbecue grills. I'm not 100% sure. I'll look and see if I can see those, but they have trash cans. You can come out here and park and just walk right over here to the Gulf, and that can be really great. So you can see this parking lot has a lot of parking spaces that are still available. As it gets to summer and weekends, this will fill up. So right now it's pretty empty. I'm here on a Monday, still kind of early in the afternoon. It's 1:30. So for people, maybe they're late spring breakers that are coming out here to get a better value where it's not the prime season for coming out for spring break, but not your main beach days. So this is when I do like to go to the beach, is when it's not your weekends and it's packed. But in each of one of these entrances, you can go up in here and they have restrooms and pavilions. So if you want to have a beach day, bring your cooler, bring a lunch, you can come out here, drive around this area and really get a feel for what it's like and have a great beach day with access to restrooms. But even on windy days like today, this beach is so beautiful with the dunes and the grass growing on it. It's really picture perfect because you have that white sand, the emerald water. Tons of people will come out here to this area for photo shoots. So if you have a family that wants to get sunset photo shoots, this is a great place to come out, book something like that and get those photos that you can rub in. You can post them on Instagram, make all your friends jealous. But this is basically Opal Beach. There were a couple more turn-ins that are very similar to what we just did, so I'll just bypass those. We'll head back here on the main road and keep on cruising down towards Pensacola. Okay, so across from Opal Beach is this other side, which is actually great as well. If you wanted to come over here, if you're more of the sound side people, I would say your sound side people is if you have kids, if you want to paddleboard and you want typically very calm water, this is a sweet spot for you. It also has a restroom here, which is very convenient, and the pavilions with tables. But you can walk down there. It's got the same sand that it has over there. The beaches aren't quite as expansive and wide, and you can fish there. I mean, you can fish in both of them, but sometimes you can catch big fish over here in the Sound that are different than what you would catch over in the Gulf. And so there's people hanging out here. It's just a different environment and different vibes. So it really depends on what you're looking for. Both are really special. The water on this side is not as clear and emerald, but still really nice, and you can enjoy that as well. So we're gonna keep on going down this direction, headed west over towards Pensacola. So this area is amazing because it's preserved, it's national seashore, so it cannot be built on. So you know you're gonna have access to this. They're not gonna be putting up condos right out here. So that makes this area really nice. The water and water clarity is unmatched across the Emerald Coast. Our beaches aren't exactly sand, it's quartz that came from the mountains of the Appalachian Mountains, something like that. I read that somewhere. Do a little research, but it's not your normal sand. So white, so clean. We do have a lot of rules out here for our beaches though. They don't like dogs out here on the beaches except for the zoned dog beaches. They don't allow you to drive on these beaches, which honestly it's so soft that anytime I see vehicles in the sand, they are stuck. So it makes it really hard to get in and out of. And then also with fire pits, I know it would be so cool to have a fire pit on the Gulf, but this is not your spot for that. They don't allow that here. So this vehicle coming up is exactly what you want to rent or drive when you're out here. One of these little slingshot with the open air. These people were cruising around with their shirts off, just enjoying these beach days. Again, it is kind of windy today, which is unfortunate for some people, but it is what you get. You can't control the weather. You just have to go with it, make the best of it. If you have a kite and into kiting, today is your day. You're loving it. But if you just are on the beach, it might be a little windy to set up a tent or anything like that. Here's one more parking lot. This is the next one, just west of Opal Beach that we were just at. Again, 30 spots here for your vehicles. And so if you need that private beach day, there's, let's see, probably, let's say 40 people out there spread along this area. And if you want that private beach feel, you can just keep walking on down, because in between where we're at right here, the only way to access that is walking. So you can walk on down, get more of your own private beach area. If you're a fisherman and you're going for pompano, that's a lot of people do that right now in this season as the water is starting to warm up, and they'll go cast out those 10-foot poles out there as far as you can, put them in sand spikes, about 4 of them. 4 is max of what you can have, but this is the perfect spot for it because you can walk down, nobody's interfering with you. You don't have to worry about people swimming in the water as you're out trying to catch fish. Those guys right now are out there fishing. They have the beach cart. When it comes to beach carts out here, if you have a wagon with thin tires, it's going to be so hard for you to pull it through this sand. If you've never tried it, that is an ultimate workout. The best thing for it, if you see those balloon tires that are orange, those fishing carts can be the best. And as I'm even driving down here, I can see a ton of fishermen with their fishing poles just chilling, trying to catch some big pompano. I've seen lately in some groups where people are catching some really big ones. And if you like fish and you like to catch fish and maybe eat fish, pompano is a great choice. It doesn't have scales on it. It's a beautiful looking fish and a great tasting fish. I love when I get a chance to catch a pompano. It's super fun. There was another turn in. I just missed that one, but the same type of style. You'll have a couple of those in between here and Pensacola as we go out on this stretch. And again, if you're going from Navarre out to Pensacola Beach, you probably have a 20-25 minute drive. And opposite, if you're going from Pensacola out to Navarre, it's going to be the same thing on this road. But people come out here all the time to ride motorcycles, and great stretch of land right here between. So here's a good example, somebody out biking, how you can just hop on a bike and cruise on down there. He's actually riding into the wind, so that's probably a pretty good workout right there. You can see how some people right now park on the side of the road. You can do that all the way up until the National Seashore, which I just passed that sign. So you'll start seeing vehicles park on the side of the road. They also have this pathway that ends right here on the side. So if you want to walk from Pensacola down this way, but you don't want to be on the main roads, it has this walking trail that people jog, ride bikes, or walk on. And out here, this is how they typically do it, is the cars will park here on the side where it is sand, but they'll also include rocks to make it where it's more durable to drive on. If you ever see a soft spot, just watch out, because I see all the time vehicles on the side of the road that the wheels are dug into the sand and they have to get pulled out or towed out. So make sure that doesn't happen to you. In the distance, you can see the first signs of life down here, where you've got Portofino Island Resort, and it is an amazing place to stay in Pensacola. It's on the east side of Pensacola Beach, and it has a swimming pool that has full service. So if you like a bar, a swim up bar, and food service while you're at the pool, it's a great complex. They have all the things, the gym. Honestly, that's where we loved when we stayed here in 2020. We fell in love with this beach. We would tour all of the different beach towns from the east side of Florida to the Gulf side, and until we found Pensacola Beach, we just fell in love with this area, and we're like, we got to move there. So we've been down here for about 4 years and love helping other families find their home here like we did. Hey, that brings me to thank you for watching. I have some of the best watchers, subscribers here. Thanks for watching all the videos and commenting and liking. That's super helpful for the channel. So if you have been following along and you're not subscribed yet, please do so. It'll give you updates as far as any new videos that I post, and you can follow along and see property tours, different area tours, drone flyovers. I've done a lot of different style videos about the area to give people like you an idea of what it's like to live here before you make the move out here. So if you are looking to make the move in 6 days or 6 months, reach out. My info is all below in the description box, and I'd love the chance to talk with you. Maybe we can book a Zoom call and know exactly what you're looking for here at the Emerald Coast, and I'd love to help you find it. Me and my wife love helping people make their dream home and beach home a reality. So let's chat, let's make that happen for you. And anyway, yeah, like and subscribe, reach out this week. I'd love the chance to talk with you. Where I'm ending at this parking lot right here today is where I ended another driving tour video where I drove the east side of Pensacola, and we ended at this spot. So if you want to see that video, you can check it out here, and that'll give you a good idea of what it's like on down the road towards Pensacola. But again, thank you so much for watching. You're the best. See you next time.